What if Nick Aldis isn't just fighting Gunther? What if he's building something much bigger? Because the more you look at everything that's happened over the last several weeks, the harder it becomes to ignore a fascinating possibility. Maybe this feud was never just about revenge. Maybe it was never just about payback. Maybe Nick Aldis is using this entire situation to transform himself from a SmackDown authority figure into one of the most powerful people in WWE. And if that's true, SummerSlam 2026 could be the turning point that changes everything. Welcome back to the Ringside Observer. When most fans look at the Gunther and Nick Aldis rivalry, they see a straightforward story. A general manager gets attacked. The attacks continue. Eventually, he fights back. It's simple, but the details tell a different story. Think about how Aldis has handled every single confrontation. When Gunther attacked him, Aldis didn't panic. When Gunther embarrassed him in front of the WWE Universe, Aldis didn't lose control. When fans questioned whether he could actually stand up to one of the most dangerous competitors in WWE, he didn't rush into a fight. Instead, he waited. Every move felt calculated. Every response felt deliberate. Every decision seemed designed to make Gunther reveal more and more of his own weaknesses. That's important because Gunther has taken the exact opposite approach. The ring general has relied on intimidation, on aggression, on fear. Whenever something doesn't go his way, his first instinct is to attack. And while that strategy has worked for years, it may have finally created a problem he can't solve with power alone. Because Aldis isn't playing Gunther's game. He's forcing Gunther to play his. That's why so many fans suddenly started looking at Aldis differently after Saturday night's main event and the SummerSlam announcement. The perception changed. Before this feud, Aldis was viewed primarily as a general manager. Now he's being discussed as a legitimate threat, a competitor, a leader, someone capable of standing toe-to-toe with one of WWE's most dominant stars. And perception matters in professional wrestling. Before we continue, if you're enjoying this breakdown, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the Ringside Observer for more WWE analysis, predictions, and SummerSlam coverage. Now here's where the story becomes even more interesting. SummerSlam isn't just another match for Nick Aldis. It's an opportunity. If Aldis defeats Gunther, he doesn't just settle a personal score. He instantly changes how the entire WWE locker room views him. Think about it. How many authority figures can honestly say they've beaten someone like Gunther? Very few. Most authority figures rely on contracts, suspensions, and executive power. Aldis could become something entirely different. An authority figure who can back up every decision with physical credibility. That creates a unique kind of influence. And influence is where this theory starts getting really interesting. Because once a person gains influence, bigger opportunities usually follow. Imagine Aldis walking out of SummerSlam with a victory. Suddenly, every decision he makes carries more weight. Every announcement feels more important. Every confrontation becomes more dangerous. Wrestlers wouldn't just respect his position. They would respect what he's capable of doing inside the ring. That's a completely different level of authority. Now let's take this theory one step further. What happens after SummerSlam? Because that's where the real long-term implications begin. If Aldis continues building momentum, WWE could easily position him as one of the company's most important authority figures. Not just on SmackDown, across the entire organization. The more successful he becomes, the harder it becomes to ignore his growing importance. That's why some fans believe the Gunther rivalry is actually creating a launchpad for something bigger. Not necessarily a full-time return to wrestling. Not necessarily a championship run. But a larger role within WWE's leadership structure. The kind of role that puts him in the room when major decisions are made. The kind of role that could eventually place him alongside figures like Adam Pearce and Triple H when discussing the future direction of WWE programming. Whether that happens remains to be seen. But the possibility is becoming harder to dismiss. So let's look at 3 predictions. Number 1. Nick Aldis defeats Gunther clean at SummerSlam, proving he belongs inside the ring with WWE's elite stars. Number 2. After SummerSlam, Aldis begins making bolder and more aggressive decisions as SmackDown General Manager, using his newfound credibility to reshape the brand. Number 3. By the time WrestleMania season arrives, Aldis becomes one of the most influential authority figures in WWE and begins playing a larger role in major company storylines. Any one of those outcomes would significantly change his future. And if all 3 happen, SummerSlam 2026 may be remembered as the night Nick Aldis stopped being just a general manager and became one of WWE's most powerful figures. That's why this match is about much more than Gunther. It's about reputation, it's about influence, and it's about what comes next. So now I want to hear from you. Do you think Nick Aldis can defeat Gunther at SummerSlam, or is the ring general still too dangerous to overcome? Let me know in the comments below. This is the Ringside Observer, and I'll see you at ringside.